What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers podcast, episode 78. We got a little bit of a different setup
Yeah,
going on.
surprised you remembered what number podcast this was.
Shit, I fucking looked it up like 3 days ago. I had it in my head ready to go. Um, but yeah, we're visiting our sister in Pennsylvania, so we're doing this shit off the laptop, off a different mic, a whole different little shitty setup, but we're here to
Basement
get it done.
podcast.
Yeah. But let's go. We had some big events this weekend. We had PFL versus Bellator Champs. We had KSW Epic, and then we had UFC Mexico City. All of them were pretty okay for the most part.
Yeah.
Certain things delivered in kind of how we expected. Other things not so much. But we're gonna start at the top with PFL versus Bellator Champs. I guess we should have seen going into it probably that Bellator was gonna clean house kind of like they did.
Yeah.
Across
I
the
think
six
I kind of...
Hmm?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Across the six main card fights, Bellator went 5-1, winning every single fight up into the main event. Yeah, that was
I mean, that was honestly expected. It's like we talked about. Ryan Bader, he's only lost 7 times prior, but all of them were finishes, and you had Renan Ferreira with the age and size advantage. It was just going to happen. 21-second knockout. It was fucking nothing.
Like, the only ones that we really expected to have any type of, like, I feel like, friction, like, going into it, like, where there could be, like, an upset was, like, in terms of, like, the PFL versus Bellator thing, was probably Clay Collard and AJ McKee, because that could have just been a really interesting fight.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, we'll get to all of them. With that main event though,
It was such a non-fight.
yeah, so because obviously going into it, we knew that if they're on the feet and like which it's just funny because yeah, fight starts on the feet and it just ended so quickly. But like Peter didn't even get a chance to shoot a takedown, nothing. Renan Ferreira just so much bigger. The one thing I was really happy about it is because just talking about in the preview, his 2 fights prior wasn't really going for it. Was really taking his time, letting his opponent get into the fight, giving them a chance when he could just use the physicality, the length, just all of it to just go in there and smash these guys that are just nowhere near as good as him. And so I was definitely happy that he did it in this one. And yeah, 21 seconds, like you said, that
showed. Like, yeah, 21
that was crazy,
seconds,
man.
right hook, like, couple ground shots, and it was over. Like,
Yeah, bro floored him.
It's just really funny because going into it, like it was actually right after we did the preview, which made it funnier that they announced the winner of this fight was going to be Francis's next fight in MMA.
Yeah.
So that would all I've seen since this fight are just posts where it's like, man, like if Renan Ferreira really uses like his size, his length, his speed, power, I can really see Francis still getting a first round knockout.
Yeah.
And that's all I see from everyone. So it's like,
I mean,
this wasn't the fight to get people excited for the winner to be Francis's opponent. You know what I mean?
I don't think almost anyone in MMA was going to excite anyone for Francis Ngannou comeback fight. Like, there's really not anyone, like, in terms of like mainstream, like, besides for John Jones, there's no mainstream MMA opponent for him to fight that is going to excite people.
Yeah.
And
other than John, maybe Tom, but that's it.
That's it. And even then, Tom, he got rocked by Pavlovich. He ain't just getting rocked by Ngannou if he gets hit by that shot.
It's true. I'd still be very much interested in that. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But I see what it's just like they're like it's like John and Tom is like a distant 2. Like that's all I'm saying. It's like
no, yeah,
it would very much just be John. And then it's funny because after during this week, Francis posts a video. Those punch machines, those arcade punch machines, hits it 999, maxed it out. This man used to fight people in 4-ounce gloves. It almost feels illegal to do that to someone.
Yeah, I also thought it was really funny that Jones went on the PFL broadcast and was just like, I'm gonna beat Stipe, I'm gonna beat Tom, and then I'm beating Francis. And then Francis was just like, in your dreams, you're fat as fuck.
I love it.
Francis opening up and just being his true self as like a personality outside of the UFC. I very much respect it. Like it's just it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. They just dropped the Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou trailer.
Hey, did you see that? Oh my god.
I saw about half of it, but it was
Same.
so good up to that point.
Epic. The Saudis trailers and what they're doing, the Usyk Fury one was amazing too. Yeah, those things are awesome. But bringing it back to Renan Ferreira, absolutely amazing for win for him in the main event of that card. It's like he probably gets Francis. I mean, for me, I would like to see him probably fight like a Vadim Nemkov or something like that, like just to build more hype to get more on like whoever's gonna win to fight Francis. You know what I mean? Because it's like as of right now, no one's gonna care.
Yeah,
like,
nobody gets it.
The problem is, it's like outside of Vadim, like who does Renan fight that gets the hype around? You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
That's
the
problem with like that's the biggest issue with MMA heavyweight in general. Is there's not a lot of names, especially outside of the UFC. You have like Anatoly and Phil DeFreeze, and that's really about it outside of even like the US.
No, 100%. But yeah, good shit for Renan. Secured himself, if he does get that fight, secured himself a $2 million bag against Francis, so that's going to change his life. Just awesome. That co-main event, though. Heading in... There was not... Out of probably the 30-plus fights that happened on Saturday night, or like across the entire day, there was not another fight that gave me those pre-fight, big fight feels, you know what I mean? Heading into Johnny Eblen versus Impa Kasanganay, all of the feelings of like what's gonna happen, who's gonna be able to like, that little bit of upset feeling kind of coming in like for Impa, it's like, I was getting real nervous for that one.
Yeah.
Bruh, that shit.
I was about to say, the first round happens, and it goes kind of the way it's competitive, but it goes the way we think, and Eblen edges that round out.
Honestly, I wouldn't even say that first round went I knew that Impa could do good, but at the end, like I really thought that at the end of the day, like we were probably just getting an easy Johnny like domination win. Like I thought he was probably gonna ragdoll him and dude could not take him down for the life of him in that first round. Like
and Impa was landing like a couple good shots in there. Like I thought that was real close. I wouldn't have been surprised if it went either way to them.
But
that second round, bro.
That second round, holy shit.
I was sweating the whole time because I think I was the only person that actually had faith in Impa, and I know that he didn't get it done, but like he got way further than anybody actually expected from him. That second round, he was putting it on Johnny. That shit was crazy. I actually am very surprised that Eblen survived that.
No,
like he dropped him. 100%. Had Eblen fucking panic shooting like that first half of that round, like it could have been finished with one more shot.
I'll be honest. 100%. I was thinking we were looking at a contender for upset of the year.
Bro.
No one expected Impa to beat Eblen in any sort of fashion. They expected a domination, and that showed in the betting lines as well. Eblen was a minus 300 favorite. Impa was a plus 300 underdog. Like it was a wide margin. So it was just like, holy shit, Impa's gonna get this shit done.
Yeah, man.
Because like with Eblen and all like the wrestling that he started doing when he started eating big shots, like eventually he was able to take him down, and that like slowed things down. But it's like by the third round you could tell that Impa was very tired.
It definitely seemed like he probably punched himself out a little bit, like just trying to finish Eblen and that, because
it's his first weight cut to 185 in over a year. He's been fighting 20 pounds up for the like all of 2023. So it's like
have 5 fights in 2023 under the PFL. Like
it's like I know he's not huge or anything, and it's not like it's like he's cutting down to this weight that he can't make, but he was fighting 20 pounds heavier. What was it, 3 months ago?
And it's like and Don Davis even said that like part of the reason why all of these fights were 3 rounds and not championship 5-round fights was because it was made on short notice, like on shorter notice than like normal. So it's like that easily could have been a big factor. The biggest thing that I hate coming out of this fight, honestly, is all of the shade on Johnny Eblen, and it's just like just seeing people be like, oh yes, this guy was comparing himself to UFC middleweights, like stop that now. And it's like, no, maybe you should put a bit more respect on Impa and even
on Johnny's chin.
Yeah, because that's the thing, man.
Exactly.
He was eating some bombs that it's like most people that eat shots like that, they're not coming back. They're not getting through it. Like,
I do think people were a bit trigger happy with best middleweight in the world takes and stuff like that, but definitely like we need to pull back on now he's not even a top 15 middleweight in the UFC. Like, okay, like y'all are overcorrecting now. Like, stop.
Going
like,
into it, I thought
decent middle ground. Like, he could he's more than likely a top 10 middleweight in the UFC.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we said. Like, going into the fight, we were like, he'll struggle with the top 5, but he could easily fight 5 through 10.
Yeah.
Like, or 6 through 10, I should say. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Johnny's fucking good. That was such a good fight between the both of them. Just they definitely put on a show for the entire card. You know what I mean? Like, just absolutely great fight. The featured bout, though, this was a lot easier from Jason Jackson than I thought it was going to be. He gets the second round finish, 23 seconds into the second round, gets the ground and pound. It's funny because I was thinking, oh, maybe like with grappling or anything, it might be Ray like trying to take him down, and Jason Jackson took him down like it was nothing. It was just beating him up throughout the first round, and then just like I said, 23 seconds into round 2, just gets him out of there.
Yes, sir.
The biggest thing for me on this, because obviously it's like we got a short notice Ray Cooper at 182 pounds. That's really not the biggest thing in 2024.
Yeah.
But this motherfucker, he calls out Cedric Doumbé right afterwards. And I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that. I don't know if Cedric is just that much of a kickboxing monster where he could just blow through someone like Jason Jackson at this point in his MMA career, or if it is far too early for this man to take on a well-rounded championship caliber fighter like Jason Jackson at this point. Like, I don't know, man, but that intrigue, it has me pretty damn excited, and like that curiosity, I would be excited to see that right now.
I mean, we just gotta see how his next fight goes, like with Cedric.
It's just funny because like I'm pretty sure Cedric like responded to Jason Jackson. I don't remember like what he might have said, but then I seen the dude that he's fighting, Baki is his nickname or whatever, I'm pretty sure. But like he's just like, I'll beat both you guys, and it's just like I just thought it was funny. It's like, bro, no one even is like talking about you in this situation. It's like, I mean, I guess he's supposed to be like a good French fighter. But,
who, Baki?
Yeah, the guy that Cedric Doumbé's fighting.
Yeah, he's 7-0. He's 22 years old.
Oh yes, young as shit. I didn't even know that.
Oh wow, shit, 22.
Yeah, that's crazy.
God damn,
that's kind of fucked up. 22 years old taking on Cedric Doumbé.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's just a setup fight.
But it might be.
Yeah, if he goes in there and just blows the doors off of him, I really wouldn't have a problem with them setting up him versus Jason Jackson. That they will put that shit in France and they will sell out a giant stadium like that. It'll take no time. Cedric Doumbé fighting for the Bellator title. Yeah, that those tickets are gone in a second. But yeah, so it's just funny. Yeah, just the biggest thing coming out of him is just really Cedric Doumbé. Yeah. But
this call out, which sucks because it was supposed to be a different. It was supposed to be him versus Magomed Karamov.
That would have been such a good fight. That would have been so different.
I was really excited for that fight, so it sucks that it fell out.
Yeah, he would not have been able to go in there, just take him down and beat him up. Like, oh man, yeah, I would have loved that. But yeah, great show for Jason Jackson. Good for him, and hopefully we get a big fight with him coming up. As we were saying earlier, talking about Francis and Renan Ferreira, someone I'd like to see Renan Ferreira fight is Vadim Nemkov, because he also fought on this card. Fought the former, I think it was 2022 champion in Bruno Capoloza for the PFL heavyweight tournament. Might have been 2021 actually.
Yep.
Either way though, this was not that hard of a fight for him. It was a pretty classic Vadim Nemkov fight, I would say. It was just doing good on the feet, working the takedowns, beating him up on the ground. Midway through second round, I feel like Bruno is starting to slow down a little bit. Vadim got on top, arm triangle, got the sub. Just a solid performance overall for Vadim Nemkov.
Oh, 100%.
It's like Bruno Cappelozza, he, obviously he won the PFL tournament before, but he's like, he's not the greatest heavyweight in the world at all. So that's why, like, I would just much rather, like, I'm in no real rush at this point to see Francis come back to MMA. Let him do his boxing shit, make his money. Let's get Vadim Nemkov coming off that win. Put him against Renan Ferreira. If Renan's able to knock out a champion like Vadim, that's just going to be that would be a better cap in his resume, a better feather in his cap for his resume, having Vadim than Ryan Bader. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
I was about to say, then the easiest fight in the division, Ryan Bader.
Yeah. So, and then honestly, because Vadim with his grappling, it's like that is kind of interesting. And it's like maybe he could do something against Francis, and if he's able to go in there, take down and beat the shit out of Renan Ferreira, like it's nothing. That 6'8" monster. It's like he might be able to do something to Francis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, good shit for him though. Again, just another Bellator fighter cleaning house in that one.
Yep. Well, you were right about this one.
I was right, but I was also wrong. So going into it, seeing people say that they were so excited for Yoel Romero versus Thiago Santos and that this one's going to be a banger and whatever, it's like, clearly you are not like an actual fan of the sport. And you don't understand that the combined age between these two men was a solid 86 years old heading into this bout.
You're getting an old man fight.
Yeah.
46-year-old Yoel Romero and a 40-year-old Thiago Santos with no knees.
Yeah. Yoel hasn't had, like, in terms of, like, actually him doing stuff and, like, exploding and, like, actually fighting, he's probably done, like, 5 minutes at most throughout, like, his last, like, 5 fights. You know what I mean? Like,
his last exciting fight was against, Costa?
Yeah, like, honestly, yeah. That was, like, the last, like, real good one. Yeah, man, like, this was just, I was not expecting shit going into it. The thing that I was most surprised about was that Yoel actually had a pretty solid game plan of, like, let me kick Thiago Santos' legs. Those were definitely affecting him towards the end of the fight. They had a few blitzes here and there of throwing some big wild shots, but Yoel just slightly edges him out to a decision win. There's really nothing spectacular about it.
No. Not at all.
That was definitely one where I was expecting the PFL guy to get the win on that, but, is what it is. This next one, though, the opener fight of the main card, I was very disappointed, honestly.
Yeah, this was sad.
Yeah.
Going into it, I was really hoping that Clay could put up a real good, solid scrap with AJ McKee. AJ was like, I'm not having any of this. It was like 25 seconds into the first round. He shoots on a double leg, gets him down. Clay Collar starts to, like, get up and work into him. AJ just hops on the guillotine, gets out of it, moves in. I mean, honestly, that transition from the guillotine into the triangle was very nice. And then from the triangle into the triangle armbar, you saw Clay start to, like, get his head out, but his arm was still trapped. Just gave him a tap. It was a minute 10 seconds into the first round. This one was just really disappointing because I just expected so much more from Clay, and he just shit the bed. Really.
Yeah.
He's had so many good stand-up scraps like the past 2 years or so in PFL, and it's like just see him get taken down and sub just barely over a minute. It's like god damn it, man. Probably just wasn't expecting it, and I mean, it just AJ really is slick with the grappling. Like, that is where he does, like, get a lot of his best work done. When he subbed Darian Caldwell in Bellator, like, that was a real solid win for him. I forget, it's the 100% choke or something. It was like some weird, like, shit that he got him with. But yeah, good shit for AJ McKee. Gets it done. I don't know. Maybe he's proven me wrong at, like, maybe 155 is actually a solid weight class for him. I'm sure that he's probably just going to keep on beating guys that I don't expect him to. Just gotta let that fight against Spike Carlisle just get out of my head and just, like that. That's just honestly,
get it out of your head, man.
I can't, man. That was just such a dog shit performance against such a terrible fighter that
It was his first fight at 55. He was adjusting,
I know, but it was just so bad. Like, how do you go from beating Pitbull and like I know he lost him in the rematch, but then like barely beat Spike Carlisle? Like, come on.
How do you barely beat Artem Lobov, then go on to almost completely dominate Josh Emmett?
He ain't Michael Johnson, all right? Completely different people.
I'll make sure he gets into most of the podcast at this point. Michael Johnson will somehow be a part of every podcast from now on.
I just gotta start remembering to put in that tag in for every single one. Michael Johnson. But yeah. Honestly, main card overall, it was fun. Before we like get the overall production of this card though, abysmal.
Hilarious.
God.
I would call it hilarious.
It was abysmal.
The first 30 minutes, no sound?
I mean, it was clips of sound.
Yeah, I was about to say. It was hilarious for us as we are watching as we're doing the fight companion on your guys' Twitch. Just us all laughing like, where the fuck is this? This is professional production.
Right, it was about 20
they're not on the level of amateur streamers.
Yeah, no, it was about 20 minutes into the production that me and Jimmy counted, and there was 8 different people that they had like rotated through that microphones were not working.
Yeah, because it was just so funny too, is because they would have like Sean McConnell set one of them up, and then you would just see him start talking, you get no sound, and then they would go for like a couple of minutes, and then they'd cut back to him, and then he'd be like, oh great, like whatever, and it's just like, oh, okay, and it's like, yep, and then it was so terrible.
Like,
I don't know what they were doing with like the whole purple tint to like the arena and stuff like that, but during the broadcast for the fight card, it really just made it not look like good quality. Like, it made it look like the camera, because honestly, the PFL generally doesn't have great cameras, like in comparison to like UFC, whatever.
But it made it feel like we were streaming it illegally.
Yeah, it was not good. Yeah, they really botched that fucking Saudi card in a whole lot of ways with that.
So
on the prelims,
many production errors.
He did have some little honorable mentions, though. Aaron Pico got a really easy win over Henry Corrales. It was a rematch for them. Henry's like 37 at this point, so it's like he's way over it. Aaron Pico's just starting to come into his prime now. Like,
and I mean, to be fair, it was short notice.
Yes,
Aaron Pico was supposed to fight someone different, and Henry Corrales had to come in on short notice. So
yeah, that would have been a much more competitive fight if that was Gabriel Braga.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, 100%. It just sucks that they had to pull Braga. And then that...
Yeah, but Braga ended up pulling out anyway, so at the end of the day, it worked out, because then we got the Henry fight.
Exactly. That was like, when it all happened to, I was like, oh yeah, it was dumb, but exactly.
We still got saved with
the fight.
Right?
Yeah, Pinedo pulled out, so then they pulled Braga to go with Pitbull, and then they filled in Henry for him, and then Braga pulled out.
Imagine if Braga had also just said before they even rebooked him, like, I can't fight, and they were just like, all right, fuck it, Pico, Pitbull, go.
I would have been fine with that.
That's true.
I would have been fine with that. That would have been I think it probably would have been. It wouldn't have fit the PFL versus Bellator thing, but
yeah, that's probably why they didn't want to.
But you could have, like, I mean, still, that was leading. That's still leading into the main card, and people see that it's like, oh shit, champion! Like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, we also had Biagio Ali Walsh making his pro debut finally. Did not look that great.
He was getting clipped.
Yeah, he really wanted to grapple this fight, and he was getting touched up on the feet a lot throughout the back half of that fight.
He could take a punch though, so I guess
yeah,
there's that, but he don't got much head movement.
No, he doesn't. But he's got the cardio to go a full 15 minutes. He can wrestle definitely for sure. And like you said, he could take a motherfucking punch. So, and it's like, we know he's still got some power in his hands too when he's able to connect them real nice.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro's 25, he can work on it.
Yeah, I always forget how young he is. So he definitely needs some more time.
I think this was definitely a case of I want to show off more of my skills, where it's just sometimes I'm also like, and I understand that, but I'm also one of those people who's like, no, get what got you to the dance, show off the skills when someone else is trying to do them to you.
Yeah,
like, that's when you do it. I will admit, like, Eddie Bravo is a bit crazy on certain things, but when he was talking about, like, the kickboxer who moved into MMA, and he's like, "No, if I'm on his team, I'm, like, really hoping he keeps winning with his kickboxing, so that gets me another fight camp with his jiu-jitsu, another fight camp with his jiu-jitsu."
Yeah.
So that way it doesn't have to show it until he's really good at it.
Oh, yeah. Keep that element of surprise, just not let people know where
Exactly. Like, and then all of a sudden, like, you go in for a takedown, boom, boom, Francis learns to sprawl.
Yeah. Fucking just throw Stipe over like it's nothing.
Exactly.
But
and you're just like, oh fuck.
You know who still hasn't learned to wrestle though, or grapple?
Clarissa Shields.
So this is what's hard for me, honestly. One, obviously she's a very decorated boxer, and have to respect that, like, for sure.
Yes.
I feel bad that it's, like, on the women's side compared to men, that it's, like, flip-flopped in terms of boxing and MMA, where, like, the big paydays are. It's like, she wants to get bigger paydays, that's why she's coming over to MMA. So it's like, I definitely respect that, and it's like, it's terrible that she's, like, a 3-division, like, undisputed champ or whatever. And
undefeated,
undefeated, like, and needs
2 gold medals in the Olympics.
Yeah, and needs to come to MMA where she could actually get a payday. It's just terrible. I don't think there's ever going to be a day where she can compete with any decent fighter. Just, in all honesty, like, I know it's been only a couple of years that she's been, like, doing grappling and stuff like that, but I have seen people do it in way less time, and just the fundamentals and the mechanics of how their body moves and reacts to things and just how they go through the processes of the motion.
She looks like she's never learned grappling a day in her life.
Yeah,
like even hear that she did that for a few years, I was like, oh shit, it's been a couple years already. Like,
yeah,
I feel like going into fights, she's so hesitant about the fact that it's MMA, so it's more than just punching, and because of that, she doesn't go out there and throw the way that she should. Like, she really could use her boxing to, like, push girls, like, you know what I'm saying, like, get them back, hurt them, and just, like, win the fights. But she's just too hesitant. And because of that, like even in this fight, like, the first couple minutes, all she threw was leg kicks. And it's like, even those didn't even look that good. And it's like, girl, throw out a jab. You know how to do that shit. Once she started hurting her, hurting her. Like, it just, I don't know.
Made her pro debut June of 21. It's like, it's...
I wonder if it's partially the Gaethje thing. Where it's like, because Gaethje, when he first started and he really started getting going, especially in the WSOF, got so into his head it's not wrestling anymore that he stopped using his offensive wrestling at all, and just all of a sudden went to power punches and kicks. But
at least he
whereas
was able
his
to
body
do
was that's what I mean though. Like, whereas his body was able to kind of do that mechanically.
It's also like
you're right,
because it's harder to wrestle for 15 minutes too, because the tax on your body, you know.
No, it is, and that's the thing. She kind of like, because whenever she did use her boxing, she would like fall into the clinch.
Yes,
and the way that boxers use, and the way boxers use the clinch as opposed to MMA fighters and Muay Thai fighters, where they're very much more active in the clinch. Boxers are very much like waiting till the ref breaks it up. Usually, it's like not good.
Yeah, she kept getting caught in it, and you could just see that she didn't know what to do in there at all.
It's like, it just sucks. Like, I really don't want to talk like just a whole bunch of shit on her, really, because it's like, it's just hard. But I just
hope she can get that together. Hopefully, it is just a mental thing, and that, like, she finds her rhythm, because she's still 28, so it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like she's old coming into it, but it's really just like her body's so used to boxing that she just can't transition too well.
It's definitely rough. We'll see where it goes for her, but I don't really expect much from her, honestly.
She did get the split decision, though. We didn't say that.
Yes.
She did win.
Yes.
She did win. But it was a split.
I wasn't sure if she was going to get it, and when they started going and they said the first judge's name that it was going to be a split, I was like, oh, that's going to suck, honestly. Like, she loses 2 split decisions back to back, like that really would just suck.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
we'll see what PFL can do for her.
She was fighting was 1 and 2, so it's really like,
That's also exactly. It's like she fought a not good person. Like after the first round, she was noticeably tired, but like Clarissa still managed to get taken down and like had struggle with the grappling. Like it just just not good. Yeah, that was the PFL card. Overall pretty solid. I would guess that the pay-per-view buys were probably like under 10,000. Which kind of sucks because
I would venture that as well.
Because they didn't make it bigger than what they had planned because of like money issues and stuff. Like that's why they were saying. So I don't think that they got the money back on this that they were hoping for.
Yeah.
No.
So we'll see. We'll see how the rest of PFL plays out this year with doing big events like this.
Shit.
But from one big event to another, we had KSW Epic this weekend as well, and there was some fun stuff throughout the entire thing.
There was.
It's like we said going into it, it's not names that we really know or anything too like important, but it was fun shit.
I will say probably the biggest disappointment on the card for me was Phil DeFree and Josh Barnett.
Yeah.
How did Phil go 10 minutes in grappling with Josh Barnett, man, when Josh is damn near 50 years old? That was not good. That was, like, he has been smashing people in KSW, but, like, just in terms of skill and just, like, that was just not a good showcase for him.
Not at all.
No,
very bad.
Not at all.
They probably shouldn't have had two old men in there grappling, though, but whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, but dude's 37. Like, I know it's older, but, like, it's heavyweight. Like,
yeah, but exactly, he's a heavyweight. He's had a lot of fights. Heavyweights
true.
Heavyweights help age in MMA for, like, getting punched and shit like that, but not for your movement and ability.
Yeah.
No.
If anything, it hurts you in grappling.
But I did really like when, Phil DeFree was on top at that one point, and then Josh like did the slightest little movement, and then Phil just like toppled over, and then Josh was able to get on top of him. Like that was real good from Josh Barnett. Probably the best moves I did that night. That dude should not be in any form of combat at all. That dude looked so old.
Yeah, he looks way older than he is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He looks like he's 55. Could not guess he's only 2 years older than Yoel.
Yeah, it's so insane, bro. Oh.
No, they're both 46, right?
I thought Josh was 48.
Nice, 46.
Wait.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, they're the same fucking age?
They're the same age.
That's fucked up. That's so fucked up. Oh my god. Oh, that's...
Anyway, are we going in order, or are we just talking about what we liked?
I'm sorry, I was kind of just...
Okay.
Yeah, I just hit that. If you want to just bring up whatever, like, what did you like about it?
Well, bro, I got to see someone get finished via soccer kicks.
Yeah.
The grand year of 2024, and that shit was legal. It was pretty beautiful, to be honest. Vicious, but, like, hell yeah.
Yeah, because
second fight of the prelim.
That was the Bellator fight, right?
What?
Muslim Tushayev and Konrad Ruzinski.
Yep.
Dude dropped him and just boom, boom, and then one to the body, and the ref was like, nah.
Yeah. See? What did I tell you? Bring that shit back.
Yo, are you really sure you want to legally allow Khalil Roundtree to kick people to the head on the ground?
Yeah, see, like, after seeing it, I'm like, I already didn't want that knee to the grounded opponent, whatever. I've already been against soccer kicks, but now that I saw it. We don't need that. We don't need that shit.
Ginger, what was one of the biggest things on that card that you really liked?
Oh my god, the opener.
Yeah.
The judo versus jiu-jitsu. Oh my god. They just started going, they go to the center, they start, exchanging, gets backed up, start exchanging, hit him one time, hurts him, grabs his gi and starts punching him while holding his gi as
it was MMA in a
down.
gi.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I would love to see more of this, please.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those things where, right away I was like, yeah, I need to see more of this, but then it was the quick thought of, we gotta do it with the right people, because it's you don't want to get, Marco Madsen versus Clay Guida when they both got gis on, you know what I mean? Or just even a striker versus grappler, because then the grappler just being able to, hold on, that would just be terrible. But, for just two two people that are focused on striking, that's what they're thinking about, you're gonna find some cool shit like that. Like, that was awesome. That was so
dude
cool.
had a really nice high kick into a left hand, and then just yoinked him up and boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It was a little bit sad. We did have another fight because with the soccer kicks, that was the Vale Tudo fight. We did have the Pride Rules fight between our fan favorite Darko Stoizik. You know what I mean? I love him. Tiny fucking big dude at heavyweight. And then Mateusz Scheffel. We didn't need any of the real Pride Rules stuff in that. He just knocked him out, finished him early in the first.
It was
Mateusz Scheffel isn't good.
17-11. What?
I didn't realize it was that bad.
I was about to say. Then we also on the night had a one-night tournament. First fight ends with a KO, first round to the body. Second fight, both the semifinals, KO, punches. So when it got to it actually went to decision for the final, which is actually surprising.
Yeah, it is and it isn't, because it's like, they both like went out there and just was like, okay, I got another fight, so let's just put it on him. And, like you said, first round finishes, winners of those fights fought each other. You think that at that point adrenaline was down, they were tired, they're like, damn, gotta do this again.
Probably.
Maybe.
Real quick though, I did have to look. It was real funny. So Mateusz Scheffel, out of his 11 losses, one of them are via decision.
Yeah.
One other one just says loss. Every other one KO TKO.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
31 years old, been knocked out 9 fucking times.
Yeah, that's awful. But yeah, so we had just a lot of cool stuff in that.
Actually, one of them's a no contest, but that's only because Dudo returned for a
Bruno Capoloza.
Yeah. Yeah. That was also knocked out.
Yep. But yeah, KSW Epic, a whole lot of fun. That was a real solid show that they put on. Again, as always, production. It, like we said going into it, greatest production of the weekend. That was absolutely beautiful to watch. Just amazing. And then moving on from KSW Epic into UFC Fight Night, Mexico City, Moreno versus Royval 2. This was probably the first time in a few years, or a first time in a long time, that going into a flyweight fight, like however much hype and anticipation I had for it, at the end of it, I was like, damn, that was kind of a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, and especially for being two guys at the top of the division, it was kind of crazy to see the fight that we got from them.
Battle of the Brandons, Moreno versus Royval. I figured out my problem that I have with Royval. Every time I've been watching him fight recently, I always have the thought in my head, this dude doesn't throw enough. And then after the fight, they show the numbers and everything, and I'm like, oh, this dude's throwing 300, 400, 500 punches or whatever. Which, actually, he did attempt the second most amount of, I think it was total strikes, ever in a UFC fight, only under Max Holloway against Calvin Kattar, so that was a pretty good feather in his cap for that.
But
none of, like, the reason why it feels like he's throwing these numbers, but it doesn't feel like anything, is because he doesn't put anything on his shots 99% of the time. There's such little touching shots where it's like, it just feels like he's not doing anything, and it's like, I feel like if he just tried to sit down on some punches a little bit more, make like a little bit harder combinations, and didn't worry about throwing as much like little pitter-patter, he would probably do a lot better in these fights. Because Royval ends up getting the split decision over Brandon Moreno, which some of these split decisions, I was very surprised. One, that they were split, and two, they weren't going in the favor of the Mexican.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, in this one in particular, how it got there, because one of those was, if I remember right, 49-46 Moreno.
Yes, which is pretty crazy, honestly. I don't understand how you can only see one round in there for Brandon Royval.
Yeah, this was
like
a
really...
the
first as well.
It just wasn't a great fight for Moreno. It was really crazy to see.
No.
Like, he's the one who had the full fight camp. He's the one who, you know what I mean? Like, Royval coming off of a loss in December. And it's like, I feel like Moreno spent so much time just throwing wild shots. He wasn't using his jab. He wasn't kicking as much as he could have. And, like, every time he threw a right or a left, shit was wild, loopy, and just, it was just crazy.
Yeah, it was weird that he wasn't using his jab more. He wasn't using his straights. He wasn't
Yeah.
using his head movement he's really known for. Like, it was
Nothing.
weird.
Here you go.
I just wonder if it's because of, like, the way he was training for Albazi. Like, if this was maybe they saw something with the way Albazi throws shots or comes in, that these
I don't know.
these more overhand looping shots get in better.
I don't know. It's just
Because it's like Royval is 2 inches taller than him, but Moreno has the 2 inch reach advantage, so it's like they're not far apart with that. Like and it's like I know Moreno is orthodox, Royval fights southpaw, so it's like that lead hand. It's going to be hard to work behind a jab, but it's like even though it's harder to work behind a jab, you can still throw the jab out for distance, for timing, like to set whatever up. It's like you said, it was literally all just giant looping counter shots. Like it.
Yeah.
It really did just feel like a big regression, honestly,
Yeah.
in Moreno. Like watching Moreno in this fight, and honestly, even in the Pantoja fight, like it was obviously not as bad, but like still just going to war all crazy with him. It's like I just feel like he's just not as good as he was in the Davison Figueiredo fights, and it's like I wonder if that's like, cause I forget. I think it was at the start of the Davison fights when he was going in training with James Krause, and he was just looking really good and doing very well. And then obviously all that shit happened, and it's like these like last two fights and this one especially just not looking anywhere near as solid. And I don't know. It just really sucked to see, honestly.
No, yeah, because it feels weird to say like, oh, is the fight age just accumulating on him quicker? Because he's only 30 years old. It's like he has over 30 professional fights, but like, dude is only 30 years old. So it's like to see such like a regression that quickly just feels crazy. It's like, I wonder if he just doesn't have the right team behind him anymore.
Yeah,
good shit for Royval though, but
I just went to his team on where it's affiliated, who he's affiliated with on Tapology. They have him and one other fighter listed, no staff, so I don't even know who his coaches are or anything.
I thought he was training with like Saif Saud.
He might have been, but not. That might not be like where he trains like daily.
True. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, good shit for Royval. He has a close decision win over him. Bounces back after his title loss to Pantoja. Calls him out for Brazil in for 301. I wouldn't want to see that.
It sucks because it's probably going to happen because Amir's out with a neck injury that was apparently pretty serious, so he's not going to be back by then. And Makayev is fighting this weekend, and even if he wins, it's like I just don't know if he'll turn around that quickly to do that, or if he'll even be offered it. You know what I mean? I know you want to see like new people, but I personally do want to see him fight a top 5 guy before he gets the title shot. That's just me though, but so I feel like it's gonna end up being Royval because they need Pantoja for Brazil.
If we're gonna be catapulting Makayev into a fight where we want to see if he's up for a title shot, if he wins this fight, him versus Moreno, I feel like that'd be a really interesting fight.
Yeah.
Especially with the grappling.
Just hard because the title picture is just very like with
it's murky right now.
Yeah, with trying to get Pantoja on that timeline, that's where it's just like if we're between Pantoja Royval 3 or Pantoja versus Muhammad Makayev coming off an easy win over Perez, I'll take that one any day. That's just way more fun at this point in time. Even if he takes a rough loss, dude's so young, who really cares? Like, dude can get some bounce back fights, you know what I mean? Like, it's...
No, yeah.
He'll have all the guys in the top of the division to still fight.
Yeah, but it would just suck to see.
It would.
Like, just young and just getting pushed a bit too quick because there's no one else, so now you lose your undefeated streak. Like, you know what I mean?
That's true. You lose your undefeated prospect, and you lose like that opportunity for marketing and all that. And
like if dude had losses already, then sure.
Yeah,
but nah.
I understand. That co-main event, though. Speaking of regression, Yair is grappling.
Jesus Christ.
He can't do it.
This dude looked like he hadn't grappled since he trained for the first Ortega fight.
Like,
that was bad.
Bro.
I'll give Ortega this though. So Ortega gets the submission inside in the third round. What was it? 58 seconds into the third round. His wrestling did look a lot better. The biggest thing, it wasn't the technique at all. That's still not great. Anyone that has actually good wrestling in that division will easily stuff his takedowns, and that won't be a problem. But the timing of it, that's what I will really give him. He just saw Yair overextending so much, trying to hit him with such big shots, and just the ability to be able to get out of the way, because he does have some decent head movement when he uses it sometimes. And just being able to get out of the way of the shots, grab a clinch, and then just take a not that great grappler Yair down and just work on top. Yair dropped him in the first round with a good clean shot. But yeah, man,
after that.
The thing that really sucked about this fight, in my opinion, is I have no hope for a title contender against Ilia Topuria right now.
No.
The grappling, where it's if Ilia were to fight Yair, come on, that's just terrible. You know what I mean? We don't need that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And then Yair drop in Ortega with a 1-2. Bro, if Ilia bombs on him, that dude is going to the land of winds and ghosts, just like that. It's Movzar, man.
I was gonna say Movzar is the only person that makes sense. Two undefeated people that hasn't happened in years now. And yeah, if you really want Evloev to fight one more person, fucking sure, but that's the guy.
Yeah,
that's really it right now.
Because it does seem because I'm pretty sure you did a poll, Ginger, right? Where you want just Brian Ortega's next opponent. When I looked at it, it was a vast majority was in the favor of wanting to see him fight Movzar. So that was at least interesting that that's the fight that people want to see. But I mean, that's it. I do understand it.
I think that's also partially they just don't want to see Brian Ortega in a title fight.
Yeah. But it's just
And they also don't want to see him get his ass beat by Holloway again.
Yeah. So yeah,
I don't think there's any interest in the. Well,
because it's what was that? 58%.
Yeah, 58%.
Yeah. I feel that's the fight that we'll probably end up getting. I don't know. I feel there's a good chance no matter how the Holloway Gaethje fight goes, we're gonna get Holloway fighting Ilia for the title. I just feel that's what's gonna happen, and that makes me very scared and nervous. But
we'll cry about it later.
Yep. That's it. Fun fact though, in the featured bout, the winner, Daniel Zellhuber, he attempted and landed more strikes in his 15 minutes than what Brandon Moreno attempted across 25 minutes against Brandon Royval.
Damn, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Got fight of the night, landed 120 significant strikes on Francisco Prado. This was brutalizing.
Yeah.
Yo, Daniel Zellhuber, he's good.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, Prado's good. He's tough as hell, but Zellhuber is good. You could tell in the first round that he's only 24 years old, but he was having a bit of trouble with just Prado's fucking power. Prado has good striking, he has a lot of power, but by round 2 he was able to get around that, just counter it, and started really bombing on him and easily took over rounds 2 and 3. No problem. And I mean, he came out of round 1 unhurt, but he was getting touched a bit more, you know. He found his way out of that real easy by round 2. It was really good work of him.
Yeah.
Cruise to 15-1, 3-fight win streak now. The thing that honestly I really liked about it too was that just throughout the entire 15 minutes, even though he had a hurt, beat up guy in front of him, he saw that he was still coming out dangerous. He still, like you said, had all that power, just played it smart, tactical, kept doing what he had to do, and it just did not get in front of his skis at all, trying to go for a finish, getting overzealous, whatever. He played it how he had to and just dominated him over 15 minutes like it was nothing.
That's the thing.
That's just good to see for someone moving up when they start fighting bigger and better guys.
Oh yeah,
especially someone as tough as fucking Prado. Prado was just eating a lot of these shots, and it's just damn, dude, how much can this guy take?
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly.
Starting to get to that point of bro.
Yeah, but like when you have someone in front of you that's tough as shit and you are at such a high elevation, it's really good to pace yourself like that and not, just gas yourself. So good ass work from him. Great fight.
Yeah, beautiful. Another very good performance. Wasn't the greatest fight, wasn't the most fun overall, but Yasmin Howdigi, fighting Sam Hughes. This was just so easy for Yasmin.
Yeah, she just easily beat her over 3.
Yeah.
She was so much faster than her, just had so much better striking, but it was really the speed that she could just get in, get out, just land a couple shots and just be quicker. Sam would try to throw something, but she would just get there quicker.
Yeah, busted her nose up. Like I think it was the second round was just a flawless victory for her after taking, because she hasn't fought since the Denise Gomes loss, right?
Yeah, no, that was her last fight.
Yeah, so
it's like a rough loss, like what, 20 seconds in?
20 seconds on the dot.
Yep.
Just while it was July last year, so just great bounce back win. Awesome to see, because it's like you never know sometimes with the prospects, they take a real bad loss like that, how exactly they'll bounce back. Sam Hughes, like we were said in the preview, wasn't great, but she's solid, and just easy win for Yasmin. Beautiful to see. Opener of the main card though. This was not the fight that I expected.
Beautiful though.
Yeah, Manuel Torres versus Chris Duncan. I thought that this might be like a big back and forth, just someone go for the knockout kind of a thing early. Manuel Torres said, "Let's get an easy win. Let's get this done in under a round, under 2 minutes." He gets the rear naked choke. Just beautiful, absolutely great to see. And to just get rid of a guy like Chris Duncan like that, and Manuel Torres, only 28 years old, 3-0 in the UFC. I feel like we're probably gonna see him get some pretty solid wins on his way up to the top 15.
Hell yeah, dude, be finishing the hell out of people.
Yeah, 3 UFC fights, 3 first-round finishes. He got
that's most of his career, first-round finishes.
And so it's. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see him start fighting some better competition at 155 pounds, honestly. It's like, you fucking people up like this, it's like, let's get you a little bit of a jump up in the ladder, because it's like, it's...
I was about to say.
You gotta get closer to, like, that Drakkar Close territory, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I'm surprised. 7 wins by KO TKO. 7 by sub. 1 decision. Amazing.
Gotta love it.
Beautiful.
Not as good as Shavkat, you know what I mean? He's got 2 losses, he's got 1 decision win, but hey, still pretty damn good.
Bro. That's good.
But main card, pretty solid overall for UFC Mexico City. Prelims, we had some alright gems on there. Kate, what was the biggest thing from the prelims that you enjoyed?
I think the biggest thing from the prelims was dude in the audience who punched 2 people down. That shit went crazy. You just gotta let the people fight, and then it'll solve itself, right? Who needs security?
Yeah.
Oh, that Dana, one dude was knocked out cold.
Yeah, Dana afterwards just like, talking about that. He's just like, you guys are crazy. Just no security, nothing. Just let them fight till they were done. He's like, it's like, that's a pretty good way to do it. I respect it.
But I don't know. Sorry. I was just gonna say, like, with the prelims, though, like, there wasn't really anything, like, too crazy. I guess good for Edgar Chairez to be the 5th person to finish Daniel Lasarda now. Does he finally get cut?
He has to, bro.
After being 0-4 and 1 no contest, and then rebooking the fight and pulling out, and then they both showed up to this fight overweight, and then he gets sub first round, like he's been finished first round in all of his UFC fights. It's like, bro, you were 0-5 and 1 no contest. How are you still here? Is he finally gone? Did we get another shot with him?
Bruh, this dude's UFC story has run its course.
Crazy how he came into the UFC 11-1.
Yeah.
He's now 11-6.
Yep. There's just certain people that aren't built for this level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ginger, what about you though? Any gems or highlights out of that prelim card that you really enjoyed?
No. That are jumping out at me. I mean, like, just because, like, I thought Claudio Poyes and Faraz Ziam was going to be better, but that was a boring split decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also thought that Felipe Dos Santos and Victor Altamirano would be better, and that was like one of the split decisions where, Victor did not get it, and he was the Mexican in the Mexico City card, and Felipe definitely didn't win the fight, which is the crazier part. It's not like it was like that close, where it was like, oh, it's like I think a lot of people really saw Victor winning that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, that fight definitely put a little bit more question on Manel Cop for me, for sure.
Same.
Because he had a real close fight with Felipe Dos Santos when he filled in on short notice, and in terms of like being able to have a close fight with Manel Cop like that, you should not have had a close fight with Victor Altamirano, where, like you said, should have lost that fight. Like that was not good. That was one thing that I thought was pretty terrible though was Muhammad Naimov Eric Silva. We started off the card with a leg injury 44 seconds into the first round. Dude threw a spinning wheel kick and his leg just buckled underneath him and his shit was gone. Fucked, absolutely done.
Hell yeah. So from everything that we've talked about from the prelims, I'm sure you could see how they went.
We had Jesus Aguilar with a split decision win, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I was about to say, might as well talk about the last one. Hani Barcelos got his rear naked choke in the third
Christian
round.
Quinones is just not a great fighter, man.
He really is.
His striking is not good.
Does not have a good chin either.
Yeah, he does not have a good chin. Like, it's not even that he's chinny. He straight up doesn't have a good one. He's 27 years old, and it's like, now going 1-2, these were 2 rough losses that he's taken. He's been finished in all of his fights, knocked out twice in earlier scenes. I just don't see good things happening for him.
Hey, Hani Barcelos at 36 years old improved his record to the same that Christian Quinones is at now, 18-5.
Wow. Very good.
Oh, wow.
He's been finished way less times.
It's definitely crazy when just UFC Mexico City, like, solid card overall, but was just not the craziest card going into it, not the craziest card going out of it. You know what I mean? Just Yeah. I mean, we kind of said it going into it. It's like it really had the big names that like the top of the card, but like other than that, like honestly, we did expect the matchups to end up a little bit better than how they played out to be.
But the one thing I called, Daniel Zellweger and Francisco Prado, gonna be a banger. At least we got that.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we all figured the top 3 were good. It was how good was the rest of the card gonna be?
No, 100%. And I forgot Tapology too. How did that even go? I don't even remember.
Yes. So Tapology. Jimmy comes in first place again.
Oh yeah, let's go.
At 665 points. I come in second at 655.
Oh yeah, I beat you by 10 points, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
let's go.
Katie comes in at 555 points.
Yeah, the few off picks on the prelims, I'm pretty sure, like, that's what it was, like, the few different ones there.
Yeah, because for me, I kind of, like, I think I went Christian Quinones.
Yes.
Because I was like, Hani's 30s.
Puelles too, right?
Yeah, and then I knew Puelles was the other one. I was just like, maybe it was just like the one rough loss, like he'll bounce back from it. But then after seeing this, I'm like, nah, it's solidified. He just doesn't have a great chin. He's not a great fighter. He was 1-1, but now like I know he's only 1-2, but I've just seen enough to like I don't have faith in you.
Yeah.
And I know that that was definitely a hard one too. It was just like I know Hione's old and not on a great run. I just figured he still made it so much higher than what Quinones is at, and I'm just like I know he's coming back down. Still think he's probably a little bit higher, and
and then with the other one, I just seen that for Aziam, 3 of his 4 losses were by subs, so I was like, Puelles should be able to do it.
Not gonna lie, like I thought that was gonna be an easy win for Aziam over like 15 minutes to get a decision. That was way harder of a fight than I thought it was gonna be for him. There were a few times where I thought Puelles might grab a leg or something, and I was getting nervous for sure.
But so that's why I was like, I'll go him. But those 2 failed me.
I was about to say that was with the Tapology. The big storyline was just the fact that me and you had every single fighter right up until the co-main and main events, and we just got the last 2 wrong completely.
What do you mean? I'm pretty sure I put Brandon by decision on the main event. And was that not what happened? I mean, hey.
Not what happened.
Hey.
So true.
Brandon did win a decision. But yeah, no. Yeah, not too bad of a week overall for Tapology. That's damn. This is easily my best run since we've started.
Yes.
Every week I get more and more nervous to put in my Tapology picks, and I want to do them less and less because I just need to keep this train going. You know what I mean? I'm just
I came so close this week. God fucking damn it.
I feel like one of these weeks I'm gonna just get like 1 out of 13 picks right, and it's just gonna I'm just gonna drop off a cliff. Yeah, I know. It's just gonna be terrible.
That was an insane card. Oh my god, the fact you only got 1 right.
No, I think it was like 2 or 3 right by the end of it.
No, you got 1 right, but it was complete. It was a perfect.
Yeah,
I remember this.
Perfect. You know what I mean? That's all I had to do. But hell yeah, this was our little impromptu setup podcast, episode 78 again. Let's fucking go. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Ginger will be doing the preview of this weekend's card coming up. He'll be doing that by himself. We're gonna see how that goes. I can't wait to see. Let's go. But hell yeah. Until the next time, we'll catch you all, with all of us together, on the review for what is it? Oh yeah, fucking Jarzinho. We do got some one fights too, so we'll review those as well. But hell yeah.
We'll be back in our normal setup.
Yes. Peace out, everyone. We'll catch you then.